Hello class, here is an older calendar that shows where we have the first exam. I do not recommend that you wait until this day. Take it as early as you can because a lot of times you're going to have technical issues, or there could be weather, or something else could go on in your life where you miss the exam and you're not going to be able to make it up, because you do have time to do it in between when the last homework assignment is and when the exam is. Also, you have to click, the easiest way to get to the exam is to go to the date on the calendar, click on the date, and then click here where it says exam 1, or whichever exam you're taking. It's going to ask for a password. The password has to be done through Honorlock. So you're going to not only be in the exam here, but you're also going to be in Honorlock in Canvas, and they are the ones that put the exam in for you. You have to follow all the rules that they say. If it's not working correctly, use the Honorlock help. I can't show that in this video because my screen doesn't go to look at all the same way that yours does in order to help you. But for some people, it takes quite a while to get through just to get the password put in. Also, they do have some rules. Some of the proctors that you have are going to tell you that you have to sit at a desk, and that you have to put a shirt on. I've seen where the proctors stopped the test and said that. None of that is the case. They all claim that. I think the wording is something like your instructor wants you to take the test in a professional area or space. That's not my rule at all. And so I started putting that in the instructions so that hopefully you won't have a proctor that tells you that. Make things easy on yourself by putting your phone away, because they'll often stop you from taking the test if they think you're using one. And a lot of times what they say is that they see the reflection in your glasses, and then it'll cut into your time. Give yourself plenty of time to take the test. Like I said, if you do wait until the day of the test, give yourself do it early in the day. Tests are all due at 7 p.m. the day that this is, and this again is the last day that you can take the test. At 7 on those days, test access ends. So do it in as many days early as possible for all tests, not just exam 1, but especially for exam 1, because that's when I found that it takes students a lot longer to get through all of the Honorlock stuff. You have to have an ID, and it takes a picture of that. You can use either a driver license, a school ID, a passport. I've seen someone use, and I don't even know what it's called, but it's if it's from when you was a kid. If you got kidnapped, then that's what he used. I don't know if most proctors would accept that, but they may. But either a driver license or a state ID, a passport, or a school ID should be okay. You do have to use the extension in Google Chrome, which you had to use for the orientation quiz, and you are allowed to have scrap paper and something to write on, depending on what class you're in and what test it is. Some of them allow calculators, some don't. And that, if you're in 0018 or 28, you can use a calculator for anything. But some proctors will allow you to use your phone calculator, others won't. You can always use the calculator that is on the computer itself, or I think Honorlock may even have its own where you can just click on theirs. I'm not sure how they do that. But for the 0018, for most of it, you're not allowed to unless specified in the instructions and in the lecture videos. The test questions on the tests are just like the ones that are in the review videos, so that's what you should have studied. You should be studying, and none of them are harder than the questions that were in the homework or quizzes. And if you've been doing all of those, the way to answer them on the test here is just like you did on everything else in MyOpenMath. So, do well on the tests. Again, I keep stressing this. Take the test as early as possible. Do not wait until, let's say, 5 p.m. Eastern Time to start the test. Especially, I would say don't even wait until the day of the test, because a lot of times there are some kind of problems. I know in Plant City, there's one of the internet providers that goes out all the time, and if you have that kind of issue, it's gonna hurt you if you wait until the last day. So do it as early as possible, just in case you have some kind of technical or personal, and I would include internet problem, but a lot of times that's a technical thing. Usually when I say technical issue, it has to do with just logging into the test. But you do have to use both MyOpenMath and Honorlock for everything. And again, Honorlock enters the password for you. Use the Honorlock help and the chat. Let me see if I don't know if I'll even be able to open this. No, I can't even open it. Well, maybe. No. Because I'm using a previous test, I'm not able to show the screen. But when you open that, it'll ask for a password. And however Honorlock does it, I don't know. Because like I said, I don't have access to the same screens that you do to even see how it's done. And I have had some students say that Honorlock tells them that they can no longer use tablets. I don't know if they fixed that or not, because other people used to be able to use them. But then there's other students that haven't been. So there's those kind of issues. But the only reason I even like the Honorlock as far as the proctor goes is because sometimes in MyOpenMath, people would take tests and MyOpenMath wouldn't